Welcome to Simchimba Poultry Farm. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, you already know what it is. So if you're new and you're a beginner, you are at the right channel to learn more lessons about poultry farming. So today we are going to talk about the things that you should avoid in poultry farming. And first thing first, so we'll start with the product, which is the beds. You understand? So we'll start with the beds, then we'll go further to feed, then we'll go further to hygiene, then we'll go further until where we'll end up. So today, so first thing first, when you are buying your beds, especially those who are new into poultry farming, when you're buying your beds, please always buy from somebody who you've seen in the game for a long time, a company, a supplier of beds that has been there for a long time. Because if you choose and buy beds from unknown source, you won't know what those beds are. Maybe they've got some healthy issues whereby you can't see them. When you just take a look at the old chicks, you can't see those things. So make sure you choose the supplier, the breeder that you're going to get your beds from. That's important, because that's number one. Because if you get beds which are not having a good healthy, which means you won't have your business going well. Then secondly, if you have beds with healthy issues, that means even the growth will be slow. You use a lot of medication to make sure those beds are come up. So it's good to choose the supplier that you know. Don't choose just because somebody's selling beds, then you just buy them. You don't know. Because when we are buying beds from these trusted suppliers that we already have, we always, and we know, we trust, like these are vaccinated. The first vaccine is done at the hatchery. Then maybe you buy the beds from a unknown source, then they've got healthy issues, then they didn't give them even the vaccine. You understand? So make sure you choose the supplier that has been, especially those which have been there. I'm sure every poultry farmer will recommend to you and say, no, there's this one, those who have been in poultry farming for a while. So that's what you do. Get from a good quality supplier to make sure you have your beds in a good way. So that's it. Choose. Then secondly, let's talk about now the quality of feed that you're going to give your beds. This also matters from the supplier who is distributing that feed to you. So you have to make sure the feed that you are giving your beds, it's a good quality feed, because beds will grow bigger and will be so much big that the customer can't resist if you supply them with good quality feed. There are these new feed companies they are producing, and as I mentioned on the other video, like they are still practicing and see which one works out. But there are those who have been there for quite a long time, then they supply feed, good quality feed. So you have to make sure the feed is in good quality so that you can produce a bed that it has got a good quality growth, whereby you can sell it out fast. Okay, so secondly, we'll talk about now hygiene and ventilation. So this now collaborates with the biosecurity principle. So you have to make sure your ventilations are enough for your beds, number one. Secondly, you have to make sure your litter system, you've chosen the right litter system. I've got a video which I explained about this other litter the other litter system, which is not good. Then secondly, when you don't choose a light litter system, you can have your bed start experiencing respiratory problems, and especially if your ventilation is not good. So make sure you don't make that mistake of not choosing the right litter system. Okay, so when we talk about hygiene, we are also talking about how clean is your water. So you have to make sure your water is clean, your poultry loom is clean. That's part of hygiene. It's all in biosecurity principle. Then secondly, you have to know when you are, especially when you are starting your poultry farm, you have to know like, what am I going to venture in? That's why I always emphasize, like, when you are doing business, it's not only poultry farming. You have to be passionate about that business you're about to do. And poultry farming needs that passion. When you are to start poultry farming, you have to be passionate about poultry farming. So you choose, am I going to start with broilers or am I going to start with layers? So it depends with the money that you are having, what you prepared for. We'll talk about that on the next principle. So you have to know, what am I going to indulge in? Food or egg production? Make sure you know. Don't make that mistake whereby you don't know, then you just indulge in with anything that comes in. No. Secondly, I always mention that this is part of the principle of management of your business. You need to notice your beds if they are not okay. Which means if you see the other video, which I had to put in, the management of a healthy poultry, raising a healthy poultry, you check that video, you see how I had to explain how your poultry farm needs to be managed in the morning, in the evening, and all the time. You have to check that, then you see and learn something. Because when you follow that principle that I had to put in that video, you will notice when your bed is not feeling okay. So you have to notice when your beds are not okay. Make sure these are the things to always take note of. If you don't notice your beds when they are sick, that is something bad. It is something you should avoid all the time, because you will see the beds when they are not okay. You will see from the way they walk, they will show you the symptoms. So not noticing your beds being okay, it's something you should avoid. Okay. Then secondly, avoid overcrowding the beds in the poultry room. Make sure you put the collect number. Okay. Avoid that. Make sure you put the collect number in the poultry so that you don't overcrowd them. Sometimes when you overcrowd them, even sicknesses are easily coming into the poultry. So make sure you don't overcrowd your beds. As you can take a look, my beds, there's so much space. I don't overcrowd my beds. So don't ever overcrowd your beds. Then secondly, not being financially prepared. On the 7 poultry rules you should follow, I had to mention this. Never start your poultry farm with maybe you credit man and stuff like that. You need to be financially prepared. So if you are not financially prepared, don't start poultry farming. Okay? Avoid starting poultry farming unprepared financially. So make sure you have your finances in order, so that when you are starting your poultry farm, you won't have any frustration, especially those upcomers. It's not good at all, because just imagine you don't know how to keep your beds, then you're not even financially prepared. You can't even buy medication. Okay, so when you are preparing financial programs about poultry farming, you have to make sure there's also extra money. I've experienced this a lot of times, whereby I just go in with I'm financially prepared, and I know how frustrating it is. Then I start getting money from other people. It's not good at all. Then when I sell, I look like I didn't sell anything. So you have to be financially prepared. Make sure the money that you have is equivalent to the beds that you're going to have. It will be helpful to you. You will see your money. I've done unprepared a lot of times. That's why I'm telling you this. I don't know how I can explain this, but it's not good at all to go unfinancially prepared in the poultry business, because you can starve your beds. I starved my beds before, like twice in a row. I starved them from morning until evening because I was financially unprepared. Then at least I got some feed, I fed them. Then after another day again, feed was done. They starved again for about I think 8 hours without eating. I was financially unprepared. I've learned a lesson. This is why I'm telling you, be financially prepared when you're starting a poultry farm. That's important. So guys, these are the things you should avoid. Number one, getting your beds from a known source. Number two, not getting a good quality of feed. Number three, not maintaining hygiene and ventilation. Number four, knowing which breed you want to go to, egg production or meat production. Number five, not noticing your beds if they are sick. Number six, overcrowding your beds. Number seven, I'm financially prepared, which is so critical, which I've experienced so many times. So guys, make sure you follow that, and make sure you prepare everything. I have all the videos you can watch there and learn about poultry farming. So guys, thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel, and those who are already subscribers, like the video so that I'll be able to see that people have liked the video. Then those who have questions, they can go to my comment section and ask questions, then I'll go back to them and answer them. So thank you for watching, and make sure you stay tuned because we got more coming. Bye bye.